Welcome to this Collabs demonstration by Interface. I am Ben Bahanu, a Customer Success Manager at Interface. We are Bitrix24 Gold Partners, providing implementation, customization, training, and support. In this demo, we will cover the new Collabs functionality in Bitrix that will be replacing the Bitrix24 Extranet feature. Collabs allow users to create self-contained areas with the necessary tools to collaborate with guests with limited access directly in Bitrix24. I will show you how to create and manage Collabs, how to invite guests and internal users, the available Collab tools, and finally, the Collab guest view. So let's get into it. So to access the Collabs, there's a new menu item on the left menu called Collabs, where we can click on that. That will open the Bitrix Messenger, and the Collabs area will be available. We can also access it by clicking on any of the icons on the right-hand menu or the right-hand kind of side, which will bring up the same messenger. Click into the hexagon icon there for Collabs. Now to create a collab, there's a button here where we can create a collab, or this button over here. And in here, we will be presented with a form where we can fill in the details about the collab, namely the name of the actual collab, a description for the collab, and we can of course assign it access permissions. Now in this case, I'm going to create a collab for my freelancers, like a collaboration groups where I can of course collaborate with them. I'm going to leave the description empty, and of course I will leave the access permissions as default. But you can see in here we can assign permissions based on the level of membership to the collab group. So we've got the owner of the collab, moderators for the collab, and the rest of the users or guests that we invite, of course, as members. Once we've filled in all that information and we're happy with it, we can click on the Create Collab button over here, and that will actually create the collab and take us to the collab. Now to edit the collab, we have the sidebar over here, and we've got a little button over here where we can click on Edit and of course change any settings that we've configured when we created the collab. To invite users, we have a couple of options over here. We've got a button here where we can select, and that will bring up a pop-up where we can create the collab or invite users to the collab. Alternatively, we can click on this icon over here, and this will bring up the same pop-up where we can invite our users and guests. Now, when it comes to inviting guests, there's two methods. We can invite them using a link. Now, when we copy the link, we will get a little notification in the chat for the collab, letting us know that somebody's copied the link and potentially shared it to invite a user. Alternatively, we can type in an email address. So in this case, I will type in an email address for my user.com. And once I'm happy with that email address, I can click on the invite button to invite that particular user. Now, the benefit, of course, of using guests is that they're external users. They have a limited view of your Bitrix, so they don't have access to the rest of your Bitrix, only to the particular tools and things that are associated with this particular collab that they're invited to, or any other collabs that they're invited to. They do not take up, of course, any of your license spots either, so you don't have to worry about kind of managing the number of collaborators you've got. Additionally, to creating and inviting guests, you can also invite employees. So in this case, let's say I want to collaborate with Laura over there. I can click on Laura's user or type it in the box over here and click invite. And once again, just like with when I invited the collaborative user, or the guest, I should say, a little notification over here was created letting us know that these particular users have been invited. Okay, so now once we've created all of our users or invited the users to the collab, let's go through the tools that are available to us. So at the top over here, we've got three buttons over here. So first of all, we've got the tasks. Now this area, we can create kind of tasks and associate them with this particular collab. So we can give it a task name, a description, and over here we can see it's associated with the actual collab, and this allows us to, of course, first of all associate the task itself, so it can be seen in here, and of course collaborate with our collab users on these particular tasks by inviting them or so on and so forth. Additionally, we have the files area, which allows us to store any documents, images, any kind of files that you might want to share with the Collab users, or alternatively, Collab users can upload files to your Bitrix if they need to share any kind of information with yourselves. Any permissions for the drive are managed directly in here, so you'll have to manage them in here rather than in the Collab setting. Moving on, we have our calendar tool over here. So the calendar tool will allow us to create events and meetings with the Collab users, and of course all the Collab users will be able to access the calendar and view these events that you've created in the calendar. Now in the chat tool itself, we can also use messages that we've created or that we've received in the actual Collab chat to create events and tasks from these exact messages. So let's say somebody makes a suggestion, or maybe they say, we've got an idea that we might need to discuss in more detail. So in that case, what you can do is you can create a task or an event in the calendar directly from these messages. So let's try that out. So in this case, let's type in a message that will say, let's collab tomorrow. Over here, what we can do is we can create a meeting from that, which will associate it with a calendar for our collab. Or alternatively, we can create a task from the same message or from any message really, and you can see there the message with a link to the actual task itself. Okay, the final tool that's available to us in the Collabs can be accessed using the attach button over here, and it is the document signing option over here. Now this tool will allow you to upload documents and configure them in order to obviously require the users to sign a part of the document. So this of course is quite useful if, for example, once we've invited the freelancer that we want to work with, perhaps we want to provide them a contract for that particular piece of work, or maybe we need them to sign off on pieces of work, maybe proof, so on and so forth. So we can upload all of that into the document signing stuff and get that signed off. Okay, so these are the tools that are available to you. Now let's have a look at what it looks like from the Collab perspective. So over here I'm logged in as the guest for the Collab. Now of course I've already accepted the email and the invite and set up the user. Any users that you invite that are brand new to the system will receive an email or the link, and they'll have to obviously configure and set up their account. But once they've logged in, they'll access the Collab, and you can see here they'll have the Collab area where they can see the Collab, see the specific tools, the tasks, the calendar, the files, and of course interact and chat directly with users. They can also chat directly with users that are associated with the Collab. So we can see there any users that are in the Collabs that they're in, they will have access to. So they won't have access to the general users in the system unless they are in a Collab with them. Okay, yeah. So they'll have all the tools that you obviously assign them permissions to, and once they exit the actual kind of Collab area or the messenger of Bitrix, you can see they've got a very limited view of Bitrix itself. They can only access the tasks, files, and calendar directly from the menu, and they cannot access anything else in Bitrix. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Please get in touch for a full demonstration, or to find out more information about this and other solutions, go to interface.com/solutions.